Wow,
Hey,
it's
Craig.
It's our boy Craig.
Craig, can you hear this?
Say something new.
I think Craig likes it. He just doesn't want to say.
He's bashful.
Mm-hmm. Shy boy. Never just
All
a little
right.
bit.
Sliding back on in, we would return to the wild space of the Omnisphere. Thanks. Just on the outer reaches of the wild space, honestly. As we would get to see a scene of the Dragonfly Spelljammer ship, passing by thousands of giant rocks floating adrift here. Getting to see the ship travel the dangerous space for maybe about an hour at tops. Again, speeds through the asteroid belt are fairly reduced, at least to ensure safe passage, but the Dragonfly moves at a fairly decent clip. Maybe all of you may be fully taking in now that the Dragonfly is a little bit faster than the Gilded Leaf you were on previously. Noticing that as it's bending around some of these turns and tight passes fairly quickly and easily. And after about 30 minutes into this hour, it'd be at a fairly slow but steady pace. The crew on board the Dragonfly would now be able to see the massive crystalline wall you'd be moving towards. All of you knowing this to be the sphere itself. The last 30 minutes of their journey, the final 30 minutes in the Omnisphere, would be them journeying closer and closer towards this giant crystal wall that goes as high and low, left and right as you can see. It's ever expansive that you're heading towards. And you can see that on its crystal face would be a naturally forming portal. Those glowing bright blues and whites with these shocks of yellow that would almost pulse through the shifting colors of the, again, naturally forming portal on this impossibly giant wall. The captain's voice ringing out from the floor of the ship, booming upwards to your ears. All right, I'm guessing that much like our entry, our exit is going to be similarly speedy. Everyone go ahead and bear down. We're about to pick up some gnarly speed, folks. As the Dragonfly would begin to approach that blue-white with the yellow sort of mixed-in portal. And getting closer and closer, all of you can begin to feel a very familiar pull that the portal had. Almost instantly noting the momentum increase. Beginning to pull you in and in. You can feel the ship begin to accelerate, that speed shift continually happening. Leading and preceding the Dragonfly to now use this speed, this forward momentum to its advantage. Last time, Captain Casper was caught off guard, having to react. This time, he knows what he's getting into. His final 30 seconds here in the Omnisphere would maybe slowly eke out as the ship would begin to move at these breakneck speeds. All of you remembering this feeling on the entry, that this feels different, controlled. Seconds seeming to pass by in this moment before all of you can feel that momentary weightless feeling. As you all pass through that portal, there's that momentary float before being pushed out the other side of the portal. The Dragonfly and its crew being sent sailing straight away from the giant crystal sphere they're leaving. Now seeing the beautiful astral sea that they were in almost about a month ago, as they would be leaving the Omnisphere after, 27 and a half-ish days, give or take, maybe, in the Omnisphere itself. But now, you would see that all-enveloping, shimmering rainbow of pastel colors, this never-ending, constant moving sea of shifting multicolored currents. Embarking through this space. As soon as you're in the astral sea, that speed increase almost becomes natural. You don't really feel that quick movement anymore. Here in the astral sea, it feels like a fast glide. You can't really notice that speed increase as much. A common effect here in the sea. But with the Dragonfly embarking back to the chronosphere, the crew would know that they would have at least 2 months of travel ahead of them, easily, because that's about what it took them to get here.
Oh, jeez.
Is there any particular way our party would like to be spending their downtime here on board the Dragonfly ship?
Well, I do know one thing Gail wants to do. Now that it's been a week, and nobody else has really brought it up, and Liliana hasn't brought it up. Should like go up to her with the guise of like, being like, so is the amulet working well for you? You tune everything checks out.
Yes, of course. It's perfect. I honestly need to ask Marius how he even came into getting this thing. It's immaculately crafted. Very well made.
So I hope you don't really mind me prying, and I mean, if you don't want to answer, just let me know. But I mean, I can't help but notice you're missing some ink. I mean, that wasn't illusion work before, right? Like,
Yes. Perhaps this is a conversation that we should collect everyone for. I have been meaning to thank all of you, not just for saving me, but for not prying too much. I'm sure you all have seen the differences on me. And, yes, I think you all maybe should understand the ramifications of what I went through. Please, if you could collect everyone, I would love to speak all of you. Perhaps down in that common quarters, just outside the sleeping area on the bridge deck.
yeah. I'll get everyone together. Gil's probably just gonna use the earring to just shoot some messages, be like, "Pow, pow, pow."
Bang, bang, bang. Letting everyone know that, hey, we're having a Strixhaven powwow in the commons.
Group talk.
Everyone's showing up. I would assume, unless anyone would say otherwise. All of you would trickle into the space. You'll probably see Liliana sitting in the chair, smiling, as all of you would enter. Once everyone takes a seat, Liliana would probably tighten up her posture just a little bit. Gail here had a perfectly reasonable question, and honestly, I had put it in the back of my mind as far as conveying all of you. My situation sounds drastic, but my current well-being. I'm sure all of you have had similar questions as far as where my spell brands have gone, or my sudden glow up, I suppose you could say, sort of motioning to, again, the crow's feet she would have, like sort of smile wrinkles, a little bit on the forehead, those shocks of gray in her black hair, just that general slight, like, a little bit aged appearance that she would have now.
Gail would just be like, "I was more curious about the ink. I mean, it's impolite to ask about a woman's age."
Oh, yeah, I thought you looked the same. I didn't even notice.
I really do appreciate that, Kellen. I do. Perhaps it's best to start with the spell brands. I think unknowingly, it was a bit of a side effect I had not really taken into consideration. When they placed that collar on me, it severed my connection to the weave. That is its whole point. Unknowingly, a secondary effect was nullifying my spell brands, but that makes sense upon speculation. But I believe the duration of which I had that collar on has, well, left its mark on me, as well as removing some marks on me. My spell brands were essentially all but inert. I could still sense a very faint magical lingering on them, but I think with the combined effort of everyone and Aelidy's expert casting, I think that dispel magic may have pressed off some of the last remains of my own spell brand, it being too weak to withstand the force that you all were able to create.
Oh, her dispel Oh, shit.
A lady probably like puts her like hands in her face. I am so sorry, Professor. Did not think it's fine, child. It's fine. If that is the price I had to pay to get out of those bonds, then I would happily pay it 10,000 times.
Gail's just gonna like silently like reach her hand over and just give a little squeeze to Aelity.
Now,
Wasn't for Gale teaching her subtle spell. Who knows if it even worked?
Mary's trying to shovel it on. And Liliana would probably look at all of you. Funny enough, while Marius was able to procure me this fine amulet, funny enough now, I think my skin is now going to be a perfect receptive for any future spell brands. So I guess that's one complication I don't have to take into consideration. And as for my aging, I can only surmise that it is a side effect. I hope that perhaps it will ease with time. I can't imagine how strange I must have looked when you all saw me on that stage, but I feel like I look marginally better anyway, not quite so bewildered. But being separated for the weave that long, I think some of my years may have caught up to me. Something that us planeswalkers, sort of like noting to Kellen, and oftentimes plane callers, motioning over to Marius, something we often don't have to worry about is the ticking time of age. It wears on us much slower than even elves.
Well, that must be nice.
It definitely has its perks. I hope that these perks still apply to me. But I'm hoping that much like a muscle atrophying, that with a little bit of time, it will be unaffected. Hopefully be back looking like my normal self. Hopefully.
Minus the spell brands.
Yes, they were a bit garish, if I do say so myself. I'm sure some of you may have heard some of these stories. They're actually a parting gift from people I once owed a great debt to. And so you'll probably look at Marius. Marius, my time in captivity made me think long and hard about a lot of things I've said and done in my life. And for one reason, what I feel is possibly one of my biggest mistakes is the day you came to me. You came to me and you asked for help. You said you had a problem. It's a problem I'm all too far aware and too familiar with. My soul was pardoned off to 3 demons long ago. This was a pact I chose for. They imparted with me great power in the form of the spellbrands. But in my youth, upon completing this deal, I sought out the demons. I killed them, one by one, collected my soul back. Marius, you came to me asking for help with a problem of your own. I could have offered you advice. Instead, I thought it prudent to uphold my guise of a professor at Strixhaven. But my time made me think upon that a lot, and Marius, I know you may not have even thought on that moment anymore, but I thought about it a lot. And I hope you were able to find a solution. And if not, I would be more than happy to help find a solution.
It's fine. I managed. I found a way. I think in some regards it was probably the right call. I think I found a new path. Referencing his saloon. style brand. I think overall it worked out for the best, and I think giving everything we know now, I think maintaining your guise as a professor was the right call. Probably would have still held up if, well, doesn't matter now.
Oh, but I think it does. I think you're right what you were going to say. It is what I was thinking. I think then I could have told you who I was. I could have offered you help. I don't think the Marius back then would have betrayed me any more than the Marius right now would betray me.
That's fair. Well, if you're apologizing, I accept it, and there's no need to dwell on it any further. Make mistakes and choices that we reflect on. Regardless, they're done, so we should just accept what is.
And she would, give this very, gracious, almost half bow in her seat. I truly don't feel I've earned that quite yet, but I will be sure to do everything I can to make sure I feel like I've earned that apology. Thank you, truly. Honestly, if it not for you reaching out to me, I'm not quite sure what I'd be doing right now. I suppose I would be sitting on Silver Quill campus, dredging through midterm papers roughly around this time. What I'm trying to say is thank you all for not just saving me, not just everything you've done, but you've opened my eyes that I don't have to run from who I was. I just need to embrace who I am.
Oh, almost. Okay. Good speech, Cheech.
Thank you. Brett, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, well put.
Now, I know we all have been pushing back this matter, trying to keep busy with the repairs and all, but perhaps it is prudent we at least have a loose idea of what we want to do when we arrive back at Arcavios. I think you all brought up several great points. I'm not sure if traveling back to the Pinzari Isles is the correct move. I'm not sure if heading to Strixhaven is the correct move. But I feel we should at least be close to the campus, as maybe not unreasonably close, but at least close enough to where if we have to respond, we're able to, in some manner of time. I fear if we go back to the Pinzari Isles and something unfortunate happens, it will take us quite some time to reach the campus. I guess what I'm trying to say is there anywhere that you all would like to go that is perhaps closer, at least on the mainland of Arcavios itself? We have, I guess, several options. We've stopped by many fine cities, many fine places. If there was anywhere in particular that you feel would be a suitable place for us, I am more than open to any suggestions. This is a group effort, after all. I don't imagine any of us will making a final decree here. I look at this as a vote. Wherever the majority feels we should head, I think that's where we should go, regardless of how others feel. We trust the collective. We trust each other.
I don't know if Brett's super familiar with Arcavios as a whole, or the continent that Strixhaven's on.
That's fair.
We can go anywhere.
I mean, you have to think, we're all hidden now. We may have to leave Captain Casper and Glenn if they choose not to accompany us further, but at least us. Yes, I think we now have the capability to go anywhere. I mean, and she kind of hold up her necklace. thanks to this and our work before, I think we'll finally start to see some benefits from all this headache we've put ourselves through.
I mean, we could always go to Deerspire. It's not too far. I think it's a few days' journey outside of the town. It's up in the mountains. Quiet. I don't know how they'll react to a ship landing, but we could not, we could try and be nearby. It's a small town.
Deerspire. I don't think I'm too familiar with it.
It's a small little mountain town that I frequent. I mean, it's an off season. Normally, it's a big festival once a year for hunting. That's not for some time. I'm not saying it's a great town, but unless there's a city someone knows of closer, I'm not really sold on anything.
I've got no objections. I don't know. I don't know a better place to go.
I definitely don't feel like we should go somewhere where we've been.
That's fair enough. I think that's a fair enough estimate. At least as far as major cities, I think I could agree. Perhaps we do stick away from some of those larger settlements that we've frequented, just in the off chance that maybe we were noted or spotted, or they did a follow-up. I think it's a good call.
How far is Deerspire from the campus?
I was going to say, Chad, we have our map here. Just ping wherever you think Deerspire would be. Dealer's choice.
Probably here-ish. It's kind of mountain town, but it wasn't too far. I mean, he's going to keep Lightwater his secret and not tell anybody. But
and this is Strixhaven?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right. It was just a few days away because he's able to do it on one of their breaks.
Yeah.
I would say probably maybe like on foot when you were doing it, maybe a week and a half at most sort of vibe, depending on the season you were making the trek. But you would imagine if you have a ship still, it'd have to be a fairly quick jaunt over there if you guys still have access to a spelljammer.
So, yeah, I mean, he'd share all that. That's where you guys want to go.
I mean, we could at least start there.
Yeah, we don't have to stay there. It's just close.
Close enough. Should be quiet.
It's in the mountains. Like I said, it's in the off season, so there really shouldn't be too many people. At least just to set down and then plot from there.
I definitely, in general, just think we shouldn't even bother with trying to rest the ship in town. It's just the ship is just too eye-catching, too memorable.
It's like
I think we just
about
need to
a
keep
giant
that hidden.
dragonfly.
Yeah, my point exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gale. This doesn't blend in.
Listen, I've learned my lesson about blending in. Okay. This ain't gonna do it.
Okay, all right. I think this is a fair plan. We start in this Deerspire, perhaps parking the ship some ways off, approaching on foot. Something we've done before, not too terribly hard. I think we did that at a few of our stops and destinations. Do that. Make sure it's hidden. We operate in there. Keep an ear open. Hopefully our contact, Quintilius, is able to relay as much as he can and keep us in the loop in case we do have to respond to anything. We're at least ready.
So you think Casper will be down to hang out with us and like help out Strixhaven? He doesn't have like captain-y stuff to do.
I can't be for certain. That is a question I'll have to pose to him. The best I could do is, much like I mentioned, we try to park far out. That way we approach on foot. If they do choose to stay with us and aid our cause, then yeah, hopefully they will remain there and keep the ship at least secured, and we'll figure out a plan from there.
Okay, because like if we don't have a ship, I just feel like we should be like closer.
Okay. If you don't have a ship, does anyone have an alternative? Any other place they feel would be closer?
What was the closest town when we were in Strixhaven? Wasn't there somewhere nearby?
There was
Like a major?
There wasn't anywhere too nearby. Strixhaven is very much sort of out in its own space. You guys would know the closest place you all went to, at least when you were fleeing Strixhaven. It was... Thought that was the name. It is not. Going to... Session... There they are. Where'd you go? Bryn Shear Village. And Bryn Shear being about here-ish. Give or take, you guys would know Bryn Shear as the place you were attacked by those like chaos wraiths. I think the travel there was only maybe about like a day or so via Spelljammer. You guys kind of took like a very wide sort of like arcing path as to not just go straight there, but you would think like a straight shot would have to be pretty quick via a ship. I mean, on foot, maybe a couple of days outside, 4-ish, 5-ish days outside of Strixhaven.
Always go to Brenshire.
Yeah, or we could stay like just outside it and just send someone in for supplies every once in a while.
Well, it's being a town. They might not even know who we are. I mean, you think of all the people we've encountered so far, and how many do we actually remember?
Brett actually remembers like a lot of people, so he finds that question confusing.
It's a people person.
I just say I've roamed around. I guess I would know where towns are.
Yeah, I think probably Marius more than almost anyone in the group, besides maybe Kellen. And Kellen probably having a lot more like localized knowledge around like the groves where he's from. But yeah, Marius, you probably have a pretty good idea in like small little towns and stuff.
The only other place that's coming to Gale's mind, which personally I don't think is actually near Strixhaven, but I don't really remember, that little beach town that Gale and Mina went to.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called, but that's on that would be like over here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's probably off near the deserty area.
West Coast.
Sorry.
But I remembered it was on Marcavia, so I knew that much.
Mm-hmm. Liliana probably pondering. I mean, Bryn Shear isn't a terrible idea. Deerspire, I think, is a good idea. I think I'm still with Gale. Perhaps we do move away from major cities we have been to. There aren't too many close settlements we haven't quite stepped in. The only other place that comes to mind to me as far as like a small place we stopped, there's Himble. I don't think it's too terribly close. It's further to the south.
Are we considered heroes in that place?
I believe you all did do something rather helpful for them. Those strange spider creatures you were telling me about after I returned.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they gave us like the titles, the heroes of Himble.
I do think I recall them saying something about that. That is awfully adorable.
How far is Himble?
I mean, you guys would know Himble will be right around
It's
here.
Yeah, it's a little further down.
So it's
We could
further.
stop there on the way. Probably.
I guess that's not a terrible idea. I mean, either if we want, we could, I guess, go to Brynshire or Deerspire, and if we do need to leave, we could always head there after. Or, I guess, like you said, we could stop in there first and resupply, I suppose, because that is something we will be needing to do, I would assume.
Where's everybody casting votes for?
It's up to you guys. I'm not voting with Aelity because that would be weird, so it's up to you four.
Brett's natural instinct is to be as close as possible, so he's voting for that place up north.
Brynshire.
Yeah, and not even being in it, but being like closer to Strixhaven, and then just using that place for like supplies.
Okay, so yeah, not even really heading to a town, just like planting a day or two outside of a town, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So that's one vote for Brett, hanging outside Brynshire. Brynshire, sorry.
Don't get twisted.
As much as Gail hates it, as soon as like Brett like says that, she's gonna like put her hand up and be like, I hate this, but I think that might be the best option, and puts her hand up with Brett.
My vote's on Deerspire because we've never been there before, and nobody will recognize us there.
Mm-hmm.
I like Brynshire.
It's the specifically not even going into town part, except for supplies thing. That's where Gail's at. As much as she hates hoofing it in the outdoors, she's like, we need to be real cautious right now.
Sounds like Brynshire it is then.
All right, Brynshire it is. I will let Captain Casper know our course. Though thankfully we have some time till we even arrive to the sphere, so we'll have time to chart our course, hopefully get us a better estimation. Is there anything else that we need to do or stop by? You all did mention Himble or possibly this Deerspire. Again, we're not sure how events will play out, but if you are wanting to make multiple stops early, best we plan that now, or perhaps plan a secondary stop if we do need to leave Brynshire for whatever circumstance. Not something we need to decide now, obviously, but it's just something to keep in mind in a worst case scenario.
If we do stop by Himble, we need to try and keep it low key, since we're kind of heroes there, you know. And I mean, since it's been a while since then, who knows if they've heard anything from Strixhaven about us, you know?
That's fair. You guys would know that Himble, it was super far out of the dwarven place. I wish I had my other map out. But it was pretty far out from the dwarven place, and it is a very small community. They've only been posted up there for X amount of time. They don't even have dragon guard service there. That's why they were stuck in their homes for 2 or 3 days, basically.
It is almost like as she says that, she's like, it is a small town. Maybe they haven't heard of us. Maybe it'll be fun. And I mean, I don't think we told them anything about us being from Strixhaven, right?
I don't know. You guys did really good about everywhere you stopped about not, letting people know who you were. You guys were just kind of the traveling act. I think Himble was the only place you guys really helped the people versus just going through making gold or going on a side quest real quick.
Were we using the fake names then? is that when we had Flamio and or was it Hotman?
It was Flamio. Yeah.
You had Flamio, Strings. What was Kellen's?
Twisty.
What was Gale's?
It was.
Oh yeah, Twisty.
Twisty.
Do you remember? Windbag?
It was just like another word for like gay. You know, I just looked up like thesaurus for gale. It was just like another wind.
You're windy.
Tempest.
Tempest.
Yeah.
Tempest.
All right. So it sounds like the group voted on hanging outside Brynshire. Any other stops or anything else before? You guys are basically just putting in your like travel and your GPS. So if you wanted to add any other stops, feel free to plug them in if you so choose.
If Himble were bigger, it would be a great place to resupply. But when it's small like that, it feels kind of weird to try to like take a bunch of extra supplies from a community like that.
Totally get that.
Shit.
All right. And we would watch the dragonfly sailing through the pastel ocean that is the Astral Sea. Their time on board going by pretty quick. As far as like a minor downtime, Kellen, roll me a
Oh god.
roll me just a flat d20.
At D20.
Just a flat d20.
An 8.
With an 8. You're training with your sword. It goes on a little longer than you thought. But just as you guys are, you will be reaching the chronosphere, you think the will of the blade will finally give.
Ooh.
And after over 2 long months of training,
Jesus.
you have finally broken the will of your dancing blade.
Ooh.
You will respect me.
Dancing blade.
So you now have your dancing blade. And we will
That'll be so cool once that thing matures. I mean, it's already pretty cool.
Info. Do you have the handout still for the magic item chance and like your bonus action stuff? Did I ever give you that?
No.
No. Let's do that now, my lord. Now that you have an actual magic item that is usable.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, come on. I had it in the wrong place.
What?
I know. Okay.
Ho 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 ho.
There's your dancing blade, sir. Feel free to add that to your inventory and your bits.
So cool.
For Brett. Well, maybe we'll save Brett for last. Here's just kind of a compounding thing. Does anyone else have any other like downtime-ish things they would look to sort of utilize this 2 months for? Because for mechanics' sake, you guys are just going to show back up at the chronosphere. We're not going to eke out the travel like we did last time, since this is the return journey.
I mean, Marian's trying to figure out more about if Liliana can help him out with his caller ability.
Ooh.
Plains calling.
Yeah, and just see if she has any insight.
A
Very
ring,
fair.
ring, hello.
Very fair. Probably, at some point in this travel through the beautiful Astral Sea, you'd get that chance to maybe sit down with Liliana, maybe really like pick her brain on like plane calling. She would let you know that, without too much of the RP, just to sort of give you the details and not make you sift through my mumbo jumbo. But so Liliana will let you know that plane caller abilities can vary greatly depending on the plane caller. Some plane callers, if they are powerful enough, well into their powers, they can scry on people on planes they're very familiar with. Some plane callers, they can be powerful enough to communicate with the actual plane soul of a planet. Some plane callers can essentially speak to anyone at any time from anywhere, much like how a planeswalker can almost be anywhere with teleporting. Some planes callers can, mechanically essentially cast sending infinitely to anyone, whether they know them or not.
Whoa.
That's cool.
And she would essentially impart that, much like a planeswalker, when their spark ignites, they usually have like an affinity. Liliana giving you the example of her necromantic abilities, or how Kellen has these psionic powers that keep coming up more and more. And so each plane caller can have their own lane. And you would know that, well, one, you've been able to talk to a god for, a long time. Not even just the same god. You had weird stuff with Shar before that. So, like, you've been able to do that. You can speak to a plane. You accidentally did that. So who knows what else you're capable of until you try something. Oh, you also know that you can view people, because when you were in the circle, you had it's like you cast the scry spell on Liliana, where you got to see her in that space before she planes walked to the beacon to Kellen.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
So like she describes how, a planeswalker, their specialty can be a couple of things, and you're maybe pondering like, I've done like 3 of these things.
Okay. So can I just do these things at will? Or?
With enough effort and practice, I don't see why not. It's much like I explained, my muscles, they can atrophy. And yours, they need to be worked out. I'm not exactly sure how you go about that. I'm not too privy on plane calling. Honestly, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it is kind of a rarer ability. I think maybe even more than planeswalking. You can be born with a spark and have it never ignite, and that's rare enough in itself, but plane callers, you don't possess a spark. You don't have some strange, uncanny magic surging through you. It's like you are tuned into the frequency. It's strange.
Okay, thank you. No, that's very insightful, very helpful. I had no idea how to even start. So then I guess he would spend the rest of the 2 months practicing.
I love it. Which one would you try to practice first, just for flavor wise? Again, these 3 things you've sort of been able to do. One being the contact, like, gods, and like that's one thing you've been able to do. But like talking to planes, probably couldn't talk to planes, at least now. You could try, but since you're not at a plane, it could be pretty intensive. You could try scrying on a person. Or if there's any other application, if you want to try messaging someone, there's a few different ways you could go about it.
I think he's gonna try the messaging one and try and see if he can like reach crud.
Ooh, I love it. What would this attempt look like? Is this like part of like a meditation, like he's done previously, or does this look more like an arcane user trying a spell out for the first time?
I don't know if he doesn't get the sense that he has to meditate to do it, he would try to like arcane it. Maybe
I love it.
Some of the similar vibes of like message and the other one sending.
You maybe focus in on that, and you're trying to almost apply that to the almost countless lessons that you got at Strixhaven, that you got on board this very ship when Liliana was here. You were on Arcavios. you had lots of different trainings in like magic casting, even though a lot of yours has kind of been innate and you've figured it out on your own. You maybe put that same effort towards. Give me an Arcana check, Marius.
19.
A 19. What would be the words you would try to push out to your friend Crud?
Probably very basic. I'm just like, Crud, it's me, Marius. If you do get this, don't freak out. I'm just trying something new. Hope all is well. I'm not sure how you'd reply to this. I guess maybe do your best. He's very unsure if this is like, you know. He's like, well, I want him to hear it, but I don't want him to freak out.
And so flavor-wise, you maybe have tried this a couple of times, and it just hasn't quite worked just yet, but you know you're onto something. And maybe it's like a week, 2 weeks, maybe even close to a month into this trip, where you square up, you feel like you've gotten these steps down, and you try it again. You can almost feel the magic surge this time. You did something different. You expel that message out into the world. Before a split second later, a voice comes back. Mayor? Is that you? What the hell's, buddy? Man, we really missed you over at the big party. I mean, a few months back, we really thought you would have. And like, it just ends in the middle of him talking. 'Cause it's only 25 words.
It's understand.
As soon as the words hit you, there's maybe this like overwhelm of joy before there's a weight on you, and you like drop to a knee before a heavy exhaustion. For that day, mechanically, Marius would have 1 level of exhaustion.
Oof.
But
Ouchies.
you proved it's possible.
Fuck yeah. He would just keep working on it throughout. I mean, obviously
yeah.
he wouldn't push it anymore. He'd probably like rest up here and there, and if you did reach out. Hey man, so good to hear you. Just keep in mind it's 25 words to reply, and then some of that.
Roll me one more Arcana check.
14.
14. It's maybe about a week after that first one. You're like, I'm doing the same thing and I can't get it. And finally, after about a week, you feel that expel and you let him know the next message. Hey, it's only 25 words. It's good to hear from you too. And Crud would get back. Oh, sorry, bud. When are we? Yeah, he's like, you could hear him counting. When are we gonna see you next? The band really misses you. I mean, I miss you and stuff.
Hopefully soon. Just wrap up a few things with school and some of the new people I met, but again, it's kind of a newfound thing I'm working out, so I'll be in touch. Just, wish you all the best, bud.
Hey, thanks. I hope you're safe. Hope you're good. Keep your head on straight. You know the deal. You know how it goes. Can't wait to see you again. We're gonna share a couple pints. And you kind of get that last message, and again, a little bit of a smile, and then this weight presses onto you. As for that day, you take a level of exhaustion. You sort of keep up at that, knowing you have this ability now. Anything from anyone else over their 2-month trip back to the Chronosphere?
Gil's mostly just gonna be practicing her fucking spell work. Just gonna play around with Breathtaker's hand some, playing around with the features of like hiding behind it or like having it pick shit up and stuff. And then also because level 10, I get another meta magic.
Mhm.
She's also, because of Datla, she's like, I need to figure out how to make my spells go further. But she's like, I don't understand that mumbo jumbo techno babble that she just spat at me. I'm fucking just starts like raging, trying to make the spells go further. It takes a while. Yeah, nothing's really happening yet, but
I love it. Give me an Arcana check. Let's see, just like flavor wise, like how long into the trip till you just like boom and you like launch a spell twice its distance and like blow your mind.
oh, this one's taking a second to load in.
Dramatic pause.
Okay, do I need to like refresh? What?
Keep your secrets.
I'm a refresh.
We'll see like 5 rolls.
Yes. Bop, 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 bop.
That would be funny.
Oh no, Gale.
A natural one.
It's probably maybe hours before you reach the chronosphere. And like finally you just like through raw grit and determination and rage, you what spell do you double the range of for the first time?
This would probably be a chromatic orb. Lightning,
Ooh, I love it.
because she's mad. She's been trying for weeks.
As you send this ball of lightning just sailing and careening out into the astral sea. And it would go quite a distance before you would see that magic dissipate and almost dissolve into the pastel rainbows.
That goes from 90 to 180 feet.
That's awesome.
She's like, oh, fuck yes.
Any downtime with Kellen? Anything particular he'd be diving into over these 2.5 months or 2 months?
I think that he would do. I think that he would kind of resume more of a normal routine. Now that he's got Dancing Blade kind of more broken in, he doesn't have to spend as much time doing that. So he would do like training and practices with Brett in the mornings with him and the Dancing Blade now.
Well, I mean, mechanically, you get the Dancing Blade like at the end of these 2 months.
Oh,
just
okay.
For flavor's sake. But I mean, we could always say you are training with the blade still, and it's just like trying to kill you the whole time, but you're managing to still train with it.
And then
you can try.
Then I think that he would do a lot of just like bonding with like Ziglag and Boars. And I think that he would try to have Ziglag teach him Infernal.
Ooh. That would, I mean, I won't even need you to roll anything. It does not go well. It's much like the shopkeeper told you. These things are not used for that. These things are used to being like manual labor or like some spy for like some demon or devil somewhere. They are not teachers of their tongue. Anything else you wanted to spend your downtime with? Since learning Infernal via Ziglag, it would be quite the chore. Because maybe you do try for a day or two, but then like he says the same word, but it like sounds different. You're like, wait, that's different. He's like, well, yeah, you say it that way when you're happy, and you're like, what? Like, yeah, you say the word this way when you're sad, and you say it this way when you're like kind of pissed off, and you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore.
I think that he would maybe talk to Liliana and just like find out as much information as he can about planeswalking and all of that stuff. Try to pick her brain a little bit and then try to like figure out when would be a good time to start doing stuff with it.
So she would let you know, probably when it's just the two of you. Again, we won't have to do too much RP, just so you get a lot of those mechanical details. But planeswalking for the first time, as she's told you, is dangerous. You have no idea where you're going, or where you'll end up, or anything like
Right.
that. So it's inherently
I
dangerous.
figured we wouldn't do it
She would also,
during this like 2-month period journey, but like time frame maybe.
and she would also let you know that when a planeswalker planeswalk for the first time, it usually takes some amount of time for them to be able to effectively control the planeswalking. Now, again, this isn't always the case. Some people, their gift is being naturally fluent at planeswalking, and they can do it at will, and Kellen could very well be one of those people. But it would be dangerous. But time frame, she would honestly tell you that if this is something you really do want to partake in and fully igniting your spark, that could be its own journey. That could take you away from your friends, and you may not be able to get back. You could. It could ignite, and you could planeswalk right back, and everything could be hunky-dory. Or it could go terribly south. She can't guarantee anything for you. It's your choice. Once you guys touch down, if that's a path you want to pursue, you just have to do it knowing that it could take you away from your friends, and you couldn't have a quick way to get back to them. Or it could go great. You could planeswalk, and you're a natural walker, and boop, oh, I left, boop, I'm back. Hey guys, that was easy. Mechanically, the dice will tell the story, Chance.
Oh yeah, I know that.
So it's up to you. As soon as you guys are like somewhere solid where she could follow you and try to help keep you safe and like guide you, it's your call. It's totally up to Kellen.
Right, but so
whatever he feels.
But so now Kellen knows the consequences of like, oh, okay, it could, and so now it's like, okay, now I have to talk to the group and see what is in the best interest. 'Cause the original thought was this is in the best interest of the group if we ignite the spark.
I'm bringing that up to the fellow party members and the rest of you. Liliana, probably there and present if you would like her to be, or it could be just you guys talking, whatever you'd prefer. How would the group feel about that?
You talking to the group, right?
Yeah, I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah, Kellen probably approaches with Liliana, probably just like reiterating what I just told Kellen, flavor-wise, what he like fully imparted from Liliana.
Yeah.
And he is probably coming to you all for your input,
Like, originally, I know that we were like, hey, Kellen, you should, like, work on igniting your spark and doing that. And Captain Professor just informed me that could also very well mean that I may be gone for who knows how long. Kind of like when if I ignite it and when I ignite it, I'll kind of like poof, and we don't know if I'll come back or not.
I mean, based off that alone, sounds like a bad idea to me, man. I mean, especially like you want to do that now.
Is there any way you could? I don't know how this works. Follow him?
Yes, I could indeed follow him. But again, there's only so many things me following him would do.
Yeah, you couldn't bring him back, could you?
I could not. Though, if he is able to walk naturally after his first walk. Theoretically, he should be able to follow me back to you. If he is having a hard time triangulating, we could even possibly use Marius once we figure out more of his gifts. Plain callers have many small tools at their disposal.
If things went poorly, how long would it take, do you think, for him to kind of master a return?
Depends on if I survive.
Sadly, that is correct. The first element is if he survives. Again, we don't know where the initial walk would send him. If he does survive that, this is not an exact science. I know many of you seek answers, and that would give reassurance, but if that's what you're looking for, this is not the solution for you then. This is a gamble in the truest extent.
Well, I don't know. I think we quite have a plan yet of what to even do about everything on campus. I guess.
If I may be curious, Kellen just mentioned that all of you thought it prudent he ignite his spark. I personally was not here for that conversation. I would love to hear everyone's reasons on why his ignited spark would be of a true benefit to us right now.
Now, to be fair, we weren't fully sure of what igniting his spark meant.
Yeah, that was kind of part of it, and also, we didn't have you, so we thought maybe if he were to ignite his spark, that would somehow make it easier to get you. But now that I'm kind of, you're really starting to explain these things, that really does seem very childish.
Liliana probably grins a little bit. I would hate to live in the world, the timeline, where Kellen ignited his spark while you were on your search for me, and you were down 2 friends during this terrible time.
She called herself a friend.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't exactly here the whole time.
You weren't here the whole time? What do you mean?
Kellen took a field trip. Kind of bailed. Like a soft bail.
Yeah, there was. So we did at one point kind of lose him, but not for planeswalking reasons.
Yes, when I first showed up, Marius caught me up on some details.
Yeah.
That was one that he did fill me in on. If there's one thing I can say about you, Kellen, it is that you are incredibly brave.
Thanks.
He turns dark blue when he blushes. It's so cute.
I mean, I know I personally, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't have had the stomach to walk away from what I called the only friends, and I think having the will to do that is incredibly brave.
That's not encouraged.
Yeah, no offense, but I don't want this spark to take you away. Especially when I don't even see what it would really get for us, because, you can't bring us with you, so it would just be you going places.
We want you around, Kellen, but if you feel like you need to pursue the spark, you can pursue your spark. I mean, there is a chance that you would be right back, as she said, and
I don't need to pursue the spark.
I do have... I have you in my book. It's not like we would lose contact. I can still send you messages, provided you don't end up in a pit of lava.
I mean, I don't need to pursue the spark right now.
Knocks on wood.
I really don't need to pursue it right now. I thought that was something that I was supposed to do, and so if that's not what I need to do anymore, then I'm good.
Well, we didn't fully understand what pursuing the spark meant, so with the new information, maybe we just sit on it. I mean, we have some time. before we get to where we're trying to go? And
Yeah, I can be cool. I can be cool. I can be cool as a cucumber, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the past, just kind of disappeared.
Well, and that's why I was
So-
like, hey guys, maybe I should, or that's why I was like, hey, Captain Professor Liliana, ma'am, I should probably talk to the group and my friends about whether or not I should pursue actually doing this or not, because I don't want to just disappear one day. Again.
I guess I would say do it. Strixhaven just seems a little pressing, is all. Snarl seems very tainted. Chaos is unleashed. I think if things were calmer, I would definitely encourage it. But I don't want to hold you back.
I don't feel held back. I feel like if we all agree that trying to protect the snarl from becoming a gnarl, that is what the vote is on. And
I mean, what kind of team snarl would we be if it got gnarled
because
up?
again, then we'd have to change our name. We'd have to be Team Gnarl.
Very true. No.
And that's like the least of it.
Could be Team Gnarly.
I mean, could you imagine the wasting of all
I
that
like that.
branding you all did? All those little plushies and banners and fun
I mean,
things you
I'm
made?
pretty sure now that we're
Rebrand?
all fugitives, it's kind of a waste anyway, but it's beyond the point.
We're just getting checks in the mail.
Yeah, I
Well,
wouldn't be
okay.
surprised.
Who's
They're
still
all getting
running this?
sent to Finn's house.
I wouldn't be surprised if our mascots got burned in the fire that Mina burned her dress in.
Okay, so we'll put
You think Mina's dress corrupted the fire?
Spark.
Well, no, everyone's like mad at us. They see a fire going, they start throwing our mascots in there. It just happened to be the fire that Mina set to the dress that
I
I
don't know,
left
people
her.
paid good money for those mascots. They're collectibles. I just don't think people would be that willing to part with them.
I don't think my name come up in the accusations.
In Marius's head, all the talks are, I can't believe all those hoodlums roped that sweet Marius into all of this business.
Sweet celestial boy.
There's no way he was really a part of this, right?
Yeah, guys, I'll just walk right back onto campus.
To be honest, if anyone's saying that about anyone, people are saying it about Brett.
Yeah, I mean, that was his boyfriend.
Yeah.
Pretty openly.
You always suspect the spouse first.
No.
Liliana probably looking over at you, Kellen. If at any point you do change your mind, or after all of this business, if that's what you would like to pursue, please don't be afraid to reach out, either to me or Marius. Having either one of us around during that process would be, I'd imagine, incredibly useful.
Yeah. I will I
think we
will
should
keep that
also-
in mind.
I think we should also get you nice and prepped. You know, get some nice protections, maybe some way to have you return to us.
Yeah, but that's like in the future. Who knows how long away that could be, Gale. So, maybe what are we gonna do outside of Brashear? Sure.
Brenchier.
Friendship.
Is the goal to sneak onto campus?
No. I hope not.
I mean, I feel
Are we
like
just hanging out nearby?
I think hopefully the plan is just to be close by. I mean, again, whether that be us reacting to something or perhaps our contact, Quintilius, needs to leave. We are nearby for that. think it is a smart plan. As much as I didn't think of it at first, staying outside of Brynshire as well is probably the right move. Staying off of any radar as long as we can is probably smart.
Timeline-wise, like, where's this fall? Because we haven't played through, like, Brett's stuff, which I know we've been saving. So I just feel like whatever comes of that would be relevant to this conversation.
That's fair. Couldn't really tell you when this is taking place. It's really, does anyone have any other like bits they want to add? Whether it's Brett adding to it now, or we come back to this moment after we do your little catch up, that's also totally fine. We're very timey-wimey right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, since we're being timey-wimey, I feel like anyone who wants to say their piece should go ahead and say it now.
Those are all the pieces that have been said.
The only other thing is that Gale would be working on, because I realized I get like another cantrip and a spell next level, so she'd be working on that stuff too.
That's fair. Picking up your spells over the 2 months, and finally at the end, you master that extended spell.
She's gonna go for the mending cantrip, because I imagine quite a few of our clothing items are very worn at this point.
Get your priorities straight.
Fair. Cutting over to Brett. Before we get too much into your downtime activities over the 2 months, it's probably best I give you at least 3 messages, bare minimum, you would receive from Quintilius.
Okay.
The first message, you'd get this one about a week and a half into the trip. Quint would reach out to Brett. Another event happened. This one different from the fireplace, not another fireplace, but word got out quicker on campus around this one. I mean, the Strixhaven Star has already picked it up. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. A gargoyle came to life at some point last night and apparently brutally killed 3 students. The paper says that the central campus ground tenders just found the bodies out in a pool of blood with a blood-covered stone gargoyle just in the middle of the walkway.
Wow. That one hits close to home for a reason Brett can't consciously place. For our listeners, our group encountered some gargoyles come to life exactly like that, and it was actually our 3 boys together out on a boys' night. They were too drunk to remember surviving that encounter in the morning.
He would probably also secondarily mention at some point that spot on the snarl. It still is prominent. You can almost always see it. At very few moments, it would be churned into the mixing color. But almost always, you could see some point of it. Almost looking bolder. Possibly even more vivid now. And the second message would be about a month in. And Quint reaching out once more. Brett, it happened again. This time, it was a cauldron in the Bow's End Tavern. It just started spitting out steam elementals. It filled the whole kitchen with the creatures. They started spilling out into the tavern. They had to clear the whole place out. 4 students were unable to be revived by campus healers. It took staff, it says, almost 30 minutes to fend off the elementals.
That's crazy because that literally happened to us first year. This is hearing all of these events is so fucking trippy, man. Like, I literally healed at least 2 or 3 people during that encounter alone.
Quint probably noting the atmosphere on campus is very different after the event at the Bow's End Tavern. It was already fairly gloomy over the past 2 events, but now this one has kind of set everything off. These are 3 brutal events that have all happened within about a month of each other. And it would only be 3 more days after that second message. Quint would reach out once more. This time he would sound distracted, as if he's listening to something. Babe, Dean Tullis is here. They're holding a student body congress. It's emergency, last minute something. She's addressing like the whole crowd, like everyone, and like all the deans are there behind her. She's talking about the past month. Sorry, I'm trying to listen while talking to you. It's kind of hard. This is crazy. Okay. With the full backings of the dean, she is starting a campus security watch comprised of students. What? Brett. She's bringing a big group of students up. Now she's talking about these students have proven their loyalty, dedication to Strixhaven, and okay.
Babe, can you detect them?
I'm not that close. It's all the students. It's huge. I've never seen anything like this. We're all just here, just circled around the biblioplex outside. I've never seen this many students all at the central campus at once before.
I don't like this.
Okay, she says she's dubbing this group the Lavender Knights, a group of students who have been given authority to act on behalf of the deans, being helmed by Dean Tullis. Okay, she's passing off robes. They're like shiny purpley. Okay, those are badges. Maybe pendants? Fuck. I see L's up there.
I knew it.
Okay, she just accepted her robe. A badge thing. What is this? What is happening?
Fucking bad.
Kill a student army.
How far in did you say that was? The first one was a week and a half. The second was a month.
And this one would be a month and 3 days in, because it's 3 days after that last one. Getting the feeling, and Quint probably also would be able to explain that. Again, this was like a last-minute emergency student body meeting where they all meet in Congress. Almost all the deans are there. Dean Tullis leading the conversation the whole time. Explaining that she has dubbed this fairly large group of students the Lavender Knights, a group of students who've been given authority to act on behalf of the deans, and the Dean of Order specifically being in charge of this.
Okay, well, unlike before, Brett does not keep any of these conversations secret, so like everyone else knows these updates.
Well, maybe for once you could use your L contact to benefit and see what she thinks. She's so against
No,
her
it sounds
mother.
like she's the one fucking up all of this shit, and now she's been put in a position of power to fucking kill everybody.
Well, it could be a little nepotism.
I mean, Brett would have contacted her like after each of these updates, like to ask about her. Like, I do think he would have asked about the Firehold incident, and then he would have asked about the gargoyle thing,
I don't
and then
trust
Cauldron
her.
thing.
She's the one doing this. She's the one doing it last time. She's the one doing it this time. Tried to kill your boyfriend, Brett. Tried to kill Quint. She
Technically
did kill
did.
Quint. Now he's an experiment that she's using. Corrupt Snarl. Or the Snarl into a Gnarl. I mean, you all know where I stand, so.
I mean, I don't know how do you want to play this, Matt, with these conversations?
You
So
tell
especially
me.
now that we're out at sea.
You tell me. How would you like to have these conversations? Is this something you want to do now with everyone listening? Or would this be something secretive for Brett?
Um. God. It's so funny because like it just hits too close to home for Kellen. He just doesn't have a clear mind about these things,
Maybe he has the clearest mind.
which just feels ironic.
I mean, I can say, unfortunately, regardless of whatever you could or would say to Elle, these events happen.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no altering them. So even if it's like, I don't know, some crazy conversation where you guys become best friends, this shit still keeps happening.
No worries. I actually didn't even anticipate that as a possible outcome. But
That's okay.
good to know that.
Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure.
Let's see. So I guess like the first thing would have been after they got out, asking if she knows anything about. He would be inquiring about the stuff with Quent and the theories that like he got experimented on while he was in his like coma thing.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since they are wondering if it has to do with the book that she wrote, right? So does she know anything about that stuff?
Just roll me a persuasion check. Because again, you got enough spell slots, you got enough days. I mean, you could ask her, so many different ways and pester her in enough ways to where you'd at least have a shot to ask.
26.
A 26 persuasion. Probably the first time you ask about Quint and everything. First thing Elle would impart is that she is incredibly sorry. She did not intend for anything to play out the way it did, or the way it has. But the 26 persuasion, as you do maybe ask and inquire about Quint's current status. Maybe reference the book, reference what you guys have learned, maybe even reference, like you said, Liliana's guess, her best stab at all of this. And it would probably be like a long minute before Elle would get back to you. And she would respond kind of shakily. Brett, what happened to Quint, it is my fault. It's my fault entirely. The mage hunters were only there because of me. When he fell, I didn't know what to do. I did the first thing I could think of. In my experiments, the first thing we did was we killed the beast before we tried to impart chaos into it. That's the first thing I thought of the minute I got to him. I saw the wound. No one could just survive that. No one just gets up after that.
Bruh, no.
So I used my abilities. I did what I had tried to do so many times and failed horribly. I thought I still failed. I think the only thing good that came from that day is that you still got to have him. He's still here. I'm not sorry for that part.
So he would ask, I think he'd be really shaken by that news. He definitely didn't think it was like her entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he'd come back after a minute. What's up?
Kellen be a Kellen.
Just shocking them.
Kellen's like set it on fire. Burn
I
it
told
down.
you, I told you.
Oh my god.
What would he say? He'd probably be like, well, at least I know he wasn't repeatedly experimented on by some psycho like Tolis. I appreciate your honesty, I guess, as much as I can for what you're admitting. And I can't say that I'm not glad to have him around. He's still the same adorable, lovable nerd goofball that I fell in love with, and your chaos magic didn't change that.
Yet. Like rabies, takes time for it to fully change.
That doesn't mean the orc is gonna like want him, right? Do they know that you're the reason he's still okay? Did you tell them everything?
Brett, it's very hard for me not to answer questions when the upper ring asks. Yes, told them everything. Tullus investigated it further. Said he seemed none the wiser to the situation. That's why I've kept my distance. I've seen him. He's seen me. Can't bear to talk to him. Look at him.
Well, I won't speak for him, but obviously he hasn't approached you, so it speaks for itself. I think that would be kind of the end of that conversation, probably.
That's fair. I think that's very fair.
Next would be the gargoyle. Actually, he would ask about Firehold, so maybe that would have been a few days after that.
That makes sense.
So I guess we can do another roll to see how cagey she is about Firehold.
Yeah, give me another persuasion check. Or deception, if you're trying to play it off on a different angle.
For now, I think it's still persuasion. So far, she, according to Brett at least, she seems to be pretty honest. Willing to talk. She did claim that she viewed us as friends. She wishes it could be that way.
Oh, sweet Brett.
Definitely not me.
14 for your persuasion this time around. As you reach out about the Firehold incident, Elle would get back pretty quick. Look, these are the prices that have to be paid. Once this is all done, my mother says that's it. And we'll be done. We won't ever have to come back to this stupid school. You won't have to worry about me. I won't have to worry about you once all this is done. We can each go about our lives.
What is all done?
You probably don't get an answer. And then the
Yeah,
gargoyle attack happens.
Yeah, that's what I imagine too. You waste all his messages that day for a while. Ow! Answer me!
Answer me, you bitch.
Tell her the next time that you talk to her, I will make it my life's mission to find her. This is now a personal vendetta.
The taken monologue. Oh.
And I will kill you.
I will find you, and I will kill you.
And I will kill you.
Yeah. Brett will ask about the gargoyles. he'd probably just be like, I don't know, pretty straightforward. Like, hey, heard about the gargoyles and you want to share?
No need for a persuasion this time, as Elle would get back quick. Brett, you mustn't concern yourself with what we're doing here. It has no effect on you. Once it is all done, my mother and I, we will be done with all of this. We'll leave it all behind. I'm just reiterating that same message.
What do you mean it has no effect on us? We're wanted fugitives. We can't go back to school. I
Yeah.
just wanted to go to school. I wanted to
I
go to
never got my
school.
degree.
To be fair, the question was about the incident.
Yeah.
To be fair. She wasn't talking about everything at large, just for clarification.
She's not wrong. We are expelled now. So we could just go somewhere else. Is there a Strixhaven community?
Did the cauldron incident take the lives of 4 students, or they had to revive 4 students?
There were 4 students that they were unable to get to in time to
Okay.
revive. Just because of how severe the steam method attack was.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 3 days later, after that steam method, if you didn't message out immediately, that's when you would hear about the Lavender Knights, Dean Tullus charging them, giving them all authority to do as they see fit in the name of the deans.
It's fine if you want me to roll a history for it or something, but like, when did the snarl gnarl thing even come up back when they were like learning about stuff first year? Like, did it have to do with something they found in the journal, or was that like, I don't quite remember how they started studying about that? Because I guess wasn't that thing we found in the bog that Marius and Brett healed and then got some lingering chaos scars from? Didn't we theorize it was an attempt to make a gnarl or something?
I think that was one of the first thoughts that you guys had, was they were trying to actually create a gnarl, like independently from shifting a snarl. And you guys did some research, and it was funny because some of the only mentions of like a chaos weave or even minor mentions of chaos magic was probably in the biblioplex, referring to snarls and gnarls and their like shifting and the loose history about them. So yeah, it was probably like middle of first year, just some research in the biblioplex.
I guess like Brett would have been stewing over the elemental thing for a little bit, like flavor wise. And then like 3 days later, he gets this update about the Lavender Night. So we'll say those are kind of piled together, conversation wise. What should we say? Okay. Brett would reach out. Let me start. My music is way too exciting for this moment. It should be more somber. I think he would try to come in with a more sincere approach, I think. Like, as opposed to the kind of anger he's been coming in as he's heard about those other incidences. Hasn't really been getting him anywhere. He'll just pop in and be like, Elle, it was months ago at this point, but you once said you saw us as friends, so there's something I have to ask you. Person to person, friend to friend. He's like waiting for her to be available for more sendings.
There would probably be about 30, 45 seconds to where it's getting to the point you think she may not even respond. I do view at least what we had as real friendship. It may not be that now, but I think it was at one point.
It doesn't just have to be a thing of the past. You don't, if there's anything we learned from Professor Liliana, it's that you don't have to be defined by the things you've done. You can choose to be something different.
What does that even mean? Something different. What do you even mean?
I heard about the Lavender Nights. And it'd be really totally sick if you clued me in, if you were our inside man.
Give me a deception or a persuasion check. Either
He's
or.
being honest, so I want to mix it up, but he's my boy. He's straightforward.
I get it. 25.
Okay.
I'm not sure what knowing any of this does for you. But what will calm your nerves? What will make you stop asking these dangerous questions? If anyone were to find out that I was even talking to you, I can't imagine what my mother would do.
Well, what would your mother do? Why are you so scared of her?
When you met her, that was her trying her hardest to be nice. Picture what a person like that does when they're upset, does when they're angry.
So why bind your loyalty to someone like that?
Because we're almost there. I've told you, Brett. Now we're getting close to the finish line. It won't be too terribly long now. Brett, I wish I could help you. I wish I could offer you some level of solace or aid. But you must understand, she is my mother. Once we are done with this, she's promised me. She's sworn to me that we're done. And we never have to hurt anyone. And we never have to use chaos magic if we don't need.
For all the people
Just
that
be
you're murdering
together.
in the process.
Says you got a cold hurt, Jeans.
Once my mother has her friend back, returned him to this plane, all will be well. My mother and her friends reunited. Imagine if you got ripped away from your friends, and all they wanted was to have you back in their loving embrace. I could never stop them from that. I would never. Once my mother has Extus back, everything will go back to how it was years ago. Before I knew magic. Before I could cast a spell. Just like it used to be.
I'm just kind of reeling. Sorry.
You're good.
Does-
You're good.
Isn't that the
Hextus
guy?
Snar.
Am I
Yeah,
remembering
Hextus
correctly that
Snar.
that's the Auric guy?
Yeah.
Yes, that
Bruh.
Extasnar is. I mean, Extasnar is the one that was supposedly killed during the incident at Strixhaven about 50 years ago.
Nah,
Him
he was
and
teleported away somewhere or something. Where they're trying to revive him.
God damn, just oh, she needs to die. Die! Kill her!
I'm sorry, El, but I think you and I both know that things can never go back exactly how they were before.
No, right in her face.
Do you really think it's just gonna end after all the lives that have already been taken in pursuit of this?
Well, think what you want, Brett. But I know that once my mother has her friends back, she says that we will have enough power where no one will ever try to say no to us ever again. We'll get to live how we want. We'll get to be free. And my mother and her friends will be reunited. So many years apart. So many distant days. Look, I'd be more than happy to keep communications with you. I do still think we have a friendship of sorts. But I can't just up and betray my mother. Not when we're so close. Years, Brett. I have sacrificed everything I have truly cared about. And we're this close.
Sorry, we just don't do friendship with cult members that kill people.
Not yet. Don't be close-minded.
Don't speak for Brett. You don't know him.
You haven't tried it yet.
If you had to sacrifice everything you care about, then what's the point? You're not going to be free under her, okay? Like, I haven't even talked to my parents in like 6 months. I've never felt more free.
Feel sad inside.
I'm sorry, Brett. I know this isn't the answer that you wanted, but I hope I can offer anything else. I would be more than happy to keep an eye on Quint. He seems fine. He gets along well, keeps to himself, but I will make sure nothing happens to him. I will ensure that of the people that must be lost, he will not be one of them if I have a say in it.
She clearly has so much pull.
I'm sorry, El, that just doesn't mean enough to me. That how can I literally have dozens and dozens and dozens of close friends on campus who I worry about every day.
Well, I would perhaps use your gift of speaking to people. I would tell some of your dozens and dozens of friends to perhaps keep away from the Witherbloom Southern campus for some time. That's all I can say.
Fucking god damn it.
How long?
There'd be no response.
God, Dad! Ah! That's so ominous!
Oh.
Ah,
The Witherbloom campus.
Witherbloom, Southern Kansas.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I mean, you would know that's along the swamp.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking
Yeah, it's the
about.
fucking crocodile again.
Oh, we need to murder L.
Or we ain't get to that swamp.
And murder L at the same time.
Volcano?
Birds, one stone. Yeah.
I mean, if she's there, I guess.
Stop calling it murder.
Liberation
Just
of
in
the soul.
We're liberating Strixhaven.
Honestly, she sounds brainwashed to me.
Yeah.
Time to pull another
No.
dispel.
This is clearly. This is
No,
clearly.
yeah, no.
This is clearly a. Like a. This is a problem that just needs to be eliminated. Yeah.
spill the heartbeat.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I was really trying
No,
to hold
why?
out hope
Why?
for her. I mean, I've definitely because I've
You've known
known kids like that just do
serial
whatever
killers?
their parents say. But this is a bit different. Okay, not okay. I was getting there, not to that extent,
I'm just like.
but plenty of kids just literally
Yeah,
do
okay,
whatever
yeah,
their
but there's.
parents say because
Yeah, but
that's
there's
the authority
There's a
figure. But
difference
You don't need more
between
followers in the
like
world.
cleaning up the kitchen because your mom yelled at you and murdering people because your mom told you to. That's there's
yes,
difference and
that's what I'm
so
saying.
like
Is this,
I just again this sounds like more of like we need to eliminate the problem at the source, right? Like we just clear out the auric and all of the members of it.
Preach, bro.
I mean, yeah, I guess this would be a good time to roleplay through everyone getting all this news together.
Oh, sorry, I thought
I
that's what we were
imagine
doing.
Liliana's here as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just
kinda.
making that super clear.
Nearest to tell you how to preach,
solidifying
bro.
it.
Do you have any idea about the Exosnar stuff? I mean, we tried to research as much as we could.
I'm sorry, real quick. How long have we been journeying when we're having this conversation?
At least a month and 3 days in. I don't
Yeah.
know.
We still have like 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, at this point.
Just for my own. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys still have about 3-ish weeks on board by the time Brett would be passing all this info off. Liliana probably thinking about what Brett asked. I mean, last I heard, he was killed in the incident. He tried to overpower the snarl, forcing it into a gnarl, and while that was sure happening, look, the romance story is that all of the students and the teachers were able to overcome the difficulty that the Auric posed and fend off Extasnar, but the true story is that Extasnar was not capable of wielding the power he sought, creating the massive explosion that almost destroyed the entire biblioplex in one swing. The central campus was all but almost rubble. I don't know how someone survives something like that. I don't know where someone would go after something like that.
I have no idea either, but apparently The Auric seems to think that it's possible to
Linked to the
get him
dreamscape
back.
somehow. They seem to like gather there and try to do their rituals or whatever there.
Well,
Are
I
they
mean,
supposed to
according to
meet?
Elle, that was just like where they met.
Isn't that
I
what
don't
you
know
guys
if
saw?
they do other
Weren't they
stuff
like,
there.
or no? They were just talking, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they are
Yeah.
using that more just kind of like how we have our spell
Meeting
brands to,
shit.
not let people spy on us. It's going to be harder for people to spy on them in the dreamscape. I mean, the only reason you guys found it was because you were, momentarily connected to the Chaos Weave, I guess.
Huh, okay. As we're sort of saying some things and things are being said out loud. A meeting space in the Chaos Weave. This was the place with the bonfire where you overheard their talks.
Yeah, it was purple.
Okay. If I had to make an assumption, they were projecting themselves there. Like you mentioned, a meeting place, secure, unable to be eavesdropped on. Interesting. I've heard offshooting stories about mages trying to draw such great power that their bodies were overtaken by it. Their essence and consciousness fading into the weave itself. I suppose the right person. That could happen with the Chaos Weave. Trying to intake too much power could dissolve the physical form, leaving but an echo inside the weave. Oh, hells.
That's so weird. Where have I heard a concept like that before? Sorry, that's me personally. So they think he's still a part of the weave itself? Chaos Weave?
I mean, these orc people, from what you mentioned, they seem capable. Chaos magic excluded. Even outside of that, they seem capable. If he was on some other plane, I don't see why they couldn't find some means to go there, but trying to dive your physical form or pull a physical form out of a dormant chaos weave, she maybe like sits back a little bit. I think that is why they are trying to turn the snarl into a gnarl.
They can activate it.
If not the whole chaos weave, at least a portion of it. Activating the portion right by where X's snarl was dissolved.
I mean, I guess that does make sense why it has to be Strixhaven, huh?
I would suppose. She's maybe like chuckling at these realizations or ideas. I suppose that would make sense, Gale.
But what happens if they
I mean,
succeed?
Please keep in mind the stories I've heard about these mages being dissolved into the weave. These are rumors. I could not name a name of a mage that did this. I definitely could not name anyone who has been retrieved from the weave after losing a physical form. I could imagine the amount of power it would take would be astronomical.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna just be another kind of recreation of the previous events, but in reverse order.
Yeah, but if they pull
Explosion,
him
and then
out, like
he
what happens to
appears.
all of that power? Does that stay with him? Does that like? What did Elle say, Brett? She said no one will ever be able to tell us what to do anymore.
No one will be able to say no to them.
I mean, I think even just activating the Chaos Weave alone, even a small portion, is going to provide them a lot of power. But especially having their leader back and all their knowledge. I think that's the real threat. Because, I mean, really, why else would they want him back if they themselves could
No,
access the power? They must need him in order to properly, like, gain all
just like, what
access to
if
chaos
you-
magic or something, right?
I mean, he's one of the guys who was born into the Chaos Weave, like connected to it. Everyone
but,
else
like,
is just
if you
like
pull a beam
taps
to
into
become
it.
a
It's just a
part
little
of the
different.
Chaos Weave out of the Chaos Weave, that like what happens to them? It's what like does.
I mean, as far as we know, it's never
I'm
been
just
done
saying,
before,
like,
so
does
who fucking
like-
knows?
Does he just come like how like does he come back as a fucking like unstoppable god person? That
Will he
Honest-
need a body?
Yeah, I was just about to say, wouldn't be surprised if there needs to be some sort of sacrifice
vessel
or body
that
available.
contain
Like a
chaos
Quintilius.
magic.
You shut your mouth right now.
This isn't even my hate. This is just like, look, he's dead. He brought him back with imbuing chaos magic.
Don't speak
in
it into existence.
Like
Ignorance
this
doesn't prevent
is
this from
something
happening.
that we really have to talk about, Gale. Like this is.
Yeah, no, sorry, that was me.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Let's just try to stick in character.
Sorry.
So yeah, you think you would need a body?
I
Maybe.
Also, as a character, could very well be. Right?
extra
You
careful.
should be extra careful while he's there.
Wars needed a body.
Vors needed a body.
Soul has to go somewhere, right?
Ideally,
It has to be a container that
they-
can
well,
that can already contain
okay.
chaos magic, right?
on the Quintilius note, looking at Brett, have you asked Elle? I mean, you said she's the one who did that, I guess. Do the rest of them know about Quint?
They do. That's why Tolos visited him.
Okay, yeah, so maybe that is the plan. Oh god, okay. She starts like
Well,
freaking out.
we don't know that's the plan. I just can't help but worry. I mean, they could do that with any of the students that they just killed. He like
That's
feels
true.
sick to his stomach even saying that.
Oh, but where would they be hiding them? Because Quintilius died and is alive, but he's still on campus.
Maybe he was just proof of concept. I mean, they could be keeping him anywhere. Different dimensions.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not
Places in
doubting any of
Strixhaven we
that.
don't
I'm
know
just saying,
about.
like,
They could also need a fresh body right before.
True. And I mean, as far as it sounds, it doesn't sound like they're doing this to anyone else. I mean, most everyone else is just died.
You also say that Elle said that she would watch
So, yeah,
Quintilius
you
and
could.
protect him and make sure that absolutely nothing happens to him within her power, of course.
I mean, she said she would try, but to be honest, I was a little angry, so I don't know how well
she's a
she would even
liar
try to keep that promise at this point.
and a dirty cheat, and I'm just saying, if I was going to keep somebody safe and protect them for a specific reason, that's probably the reason. If I was an evil, murderous serial killer cult person, that I would keep somebody safe so that I could use their body as a vessel for the person that my crazy mom is trying to bring back, apparently, that I do everything for.
Kellen, I get where you're coming from, but honestly, the passive aggression is like really getting to me. Like, can we please focus, because it makes my stomach sick every time I hear you talking about it, and I'm really just trying my best to look at things beyond
No,
myself.
you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
Sorry.
Okay, personal feelings aside, I am worried about Quint. And I don't think that it's safe for him to be there anymore.
Thank you. I agree, but also he's our most reliable eyes, and it's like we have. What about Mina and everyone else? And
Yeah, it's not just Quint.
Well,
But even if Quint did leave, I mean, they know about him. I'm sure they're watching him. That would be real suspicious for him to just disappear.
maybe we just have him kind of cool it on the detect magic and just be a student for a few weeks. And maybe in the meantime, he can plant some seeds about needing to go to. What was the name of the town again? I'm sorry.
Brynshire.
Brynshire. Maybe he can plant some seeds about needing to go to Brynshire in a while, and then when we land, he can meet us there. He wouldn't raise suspicion because he wouldn't be doing anything suspicious. And if he's already told everyone that he has like a planned trip, shouldn't raise any eyebrows. And then he'd be with us. I think that's pretty safe. He can maybe fill us in on everything that he's seen just passively over those few weeks. And then we can just come up with a better plan. Because whether we like it or not, there's really not much we can do. And until we get at least to the continent, I think we're a little helpless. And then, maybe once he's with us and we're in Brynshire, we can reach back out to Elle. See what other crazy ramblings she has. And maybe in the meantime, we can all think of a way to get back into Strixhaven. Not as students, but maybe subtly. I mean, we were able to march through the marshes. I mean, there's got to be some old stomping grounds we can see if the orc tried to go back to. I mean, we can check the swamps. We can try to go to Witherbloom, I think they said to avoid.
I mean, I've dreamed of meeting up with Quint for like so many times in so many ways, and I'm just worried that if he suddenly leaves campus, they're gonna follow him or even try to stop him. And
That's why he plays it low key. Maybe we, don't encourage any more detect magic. Let him just be a student. maybe just kind of voice some acceptance of what's going on, even if it's just casually to some friends of just like, I'm glad they have this student thing here to protect us, and oh boy, this is crazy. And hey, in a couple weeks, I'm really excited for a little break to go to Brentshire. Just because if he just ups and leaves, that's suspicious. But if for weeks on end he's talking about a fun little excursion, that's normal. I mean, we took breaks, we left, and then we can meet him even on the way.
I mean, I guess you're right. There's nothing we can do currently.
But I think
You
he should
do have a
least
good
keep his head
point though.
down.
Of even if he is, bringing up this trip and whatnot, it's like, I mean, how closely are the Auric actually keeping an eye on him? There is the chance that they could send somebody to follow him.
Even better. We can maybe capture the person following him. I mean, we'll get there first. We'll have time to prepare, to set up. I mean, we can know his route. Watch him pass and keep an eye on anybody following. I mean, we know that detect magic
And Ziglag has a really cool trick. How's
will allow
Ziglag?
us to spot the Auric.
What
He, like,
trick?
perks up on your shoulder. Which of my many tricks should I display, Lord Master Kellen, as he goes
He has
invisible?
that one, or show him the Raven one.
You guys just hear Ziglag's voice, but don't see him. Yes, excellent idea. A superb idea, Lord Master Kellen. And then this like dark black with almost like a red-breasted, almost raven would be just on on Kellen's shoulder now, just perched. Probably looking very much like the Phineas Raven on Aelidy's shoulder.
I wanted him to do it while still invisible. This is
So we can't see it.
I hate impressed.
We just hear flapping wings.
That would have been so much better.
And in the meantime, I guess, and it'll kind of look towards Alina, I can try and work on my scrying. Maybe I could try and keep an eye on him, or at least on his journey, for as much as I can.
Or even
I
on
think-
L.
I think both of those are very good suggestions. Keeping an eye on Elle or on Quintilius. I mean, tapping into your abilities may be the best route. And as far as your abilities, Marius, I've seen you practicing on the deck.
I tried.
You're
Awesome.
getting proficient. I did feel the one time you did get something off. But perhaps if we use the empowering circle, much like we did with the beacon, maybe we can channel our wills through you, enhancing your abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That reminds me, if you can like talk to planets and like planes and stuff, like, don't you think you could like key back in on like the meeting space, since like technically you and I have been there before?
That's true too.
Or you could even talk to the Chaos Weave.
I would not recommend that, Gale. Perhaps we don't.
No.
We don't reach out to the source of pure chaos for communication. But perhaps trying to tune into that space isn't an awful idea. Again, if it is located in a dreamscape connected to the Chaos Weave, it would still be a dangerous endeavor, but it's probably safer than reaching out for contact in the Chaos Weave. I think these are both excellent plans to test your abilities, Marius.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll start with just trying to scribe with Quint, just in case. That way we don't tip off Elle or anybody else. And then we'll. So I feel like I have a better grasp on that. I guess we can maybe try a less harmful plane and then move to the dreamscape and so on and so forth.
It is reasonable. I think incremental steps is probably the best way to go about testing your abilities. Like planeswalking, when you use your abilities, they will put a strain on you, at least until you've become more adept. Something I'm sure you will soon come to see.
Already felt a little bit of it, but I think it's worth it. Yeah. Side note, is Strixhaven like a big city, like around it, right? It's not just like a campus. Like there's bits all over.
It's just the like campus, the like large, massive. I mean, it's like a city campus. It's huge.
Okay, so it's just like a giant campus.
Yeah, I'll show you the little art handout.
It's been so long.
Wherever the heck it is.
In a minute, I couldn't remember if there's just. I was like trying to.
So-
Well, I know there's all the
Fuel
different.
stomping ground. I miss it.
Oh, that's the central campus. I need not the central campus. Where is my map at? So see. What the heck and heck, Mom? Where'd you put my map?
Fart and fart, dude.
The
Okay,
oricated up.
No.
Don't speak that. Not here, not now. Is it this one? There it is. It's kind of like not a very good one. Where's the actual one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
vaguely
which
remember
one
what
you're
you're talking
thinking
about.
about.
There's like an actual good one. I have so many maps. This is a problem I created, so don't feel bad for me.
It's so funny because I can see it on my Google Docs. I think I know exactly which one you're trying to find.
I know. I can picture it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck, man? The central campus. The campus map. This one? Yeah, this one.
Okay. And then I'm sorry, where did Elle say to stay away from? Was it Witherbloom or Quandrix?
Witherbloom.
Yeah, so she basically said to keep away from like this area.
Wasn't Witherbloom how we got to the swamps?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you get back there.
I will say, as far as that bit is concerned, you guys would have an answer on why to stay away from the Witherbloom Southern campus.
Mm-hmm.
Just before arriving at the Chronosphere, Quint would get to Brett with another event. 6 huge swamp toads came bursting through the land, smashing a few Witherbloom student housings and traipsing across the southern territory itself of Witherbloom campus. And it would take the efforts of almost 40 Lavender Knights, as well as staff and a couple of others, just random students that hopped in, to fully stop these giant rampaging toads. This one probably also harkening back to your first year, and your first time meeting Mina at the toad races, when Brett did in fact almost die when the toads raged out and became about like a medium-sized creature mechanically. But what Quint is describing are huge, like building-sized swamp toads that just rampage through the southern Witherbloom campus.
Wow.
No exact count on like a body count or anything like that, at least immediately, as there would be a fair amount of deaths, a fair amount of injuries, and probably the most severe event thus far.
They're really hurting without us around
Jesus.
to keep all this shit.
We
For
were the
real.
campus
Locked
tank,
down.
just taking all the damage for everybody.
So you would at least have that answer on why to stay away from the southern Witherbloom campus. It was kind of like L trying to give you any sort of lead you could pass off to Quintilius or your friends to stay away from
Which
there.
he would
because-
have.
Yeah, for sure. Just in an effort to not get swept up in that. Guessing she probably knew how bad it was going to be.
Yeah.
Would there be any reasons for travelers to be at Strixhaven? Like, is that common?
It's not
Like a
super
pass-through, right?
uncommon. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's big.
there have been like occasional people that would pass through on occasion. I wouldn't say it's like an everyday occurrence, but seeing what looks like some, traveler group sort of walking across campus, it's not like, whoa, who are you guys? At least when you guys were there.
hmm
Okay. Well, I mean, if we want to try and get Quint out, I can maybe see if we could travel with Crud. Don't know where he's at currently, but he might be close enough by. He could probably play a performance or two, and he usually has his two cousins with him. They're pretty capable.
I mean, it feels better than asking him to travel alone.
And then maybe I could try and scry the journey to see if anybody's kind of trailing them, and when he gets a little closer, we can approach it from there. I'll reach out and see if it's even a possibility.
Okay.
Would you try to reach out right now? Would everyone get to see Marius attempt one of his plane calling abilities?
Everyone stares at him. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do it now.
Either or. Option is yours. Just figure out. I'd ask.
Go on then, monkey. Do it.
Dance.
Dance for your dollar. Okay, sure. Show up, show out. Yeah, he'd probably just close his eyes, maybe do a somatic bit, and try and reach out to Crud.
I love it. Give me a Arcana check with advantage, since you were trying the same recipient that you've gotten a couple through so far.
25.
24, dropping a 23. Whew, the dice gods wanted it.
Yeah.
The 24. You all would probably watch Marius perform these somatic components, very fluid, like almost motions of the hands. You would see a bit of a spark before he would almost move his hands to the side. This magic almost dissipating right as you press out your message to Crud. What would your message be?
Hey, Crud. Marius. Is there any way you could do a show at Strixhaven for a few days? Then travel to Branshire with a Quintilius?
Strixhaven. Never actually been there, but hells, I wouldn't mind at least getting to see the spot. You made it sound all fun. And sure, sounds like a... That's the end of it, I think. Sounds like
Yeah.
If I'm still strong enough to reach out again, I would send one more.
I would say you haven't felt that wave of exhaustion hit you. You feel pretty good in this moment as you try to push out another message.
Again, Crud. 25 words. Could be dangerous. Bring friends if able. Again, watch Quintilius travel with him. Be safe. It was 24. Can we...
So who's this Quintilius guy? Is he my replacement? Don't lie. You can tell me. But we're in Deerspire. We'll make our way there soon.
Push it if he can.
Roll me one more Arcana check. This one flat.
25.
A 25. As you will the connection to keep. What would your next sending
Super
be?
Wiped. Never replace you. Quintilius is a good friend. Maybe in danger. Deerspire is fine. We have a couple weeks. Be in touch.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess we'll just hang out here. I mean, you know me. I love Deerspire. Any time of the year.
He's gonna push total exhaustion. It just sounds great. Deerspire's the best. Bring Anka, Melda, and any of the old gang if possible. Maybe Gelden. He's near Deerspire. And then he probably just kind of collapsed, just super tired.
So I was about to say, as you collapse, you feel that connection break to the point where you don't even get to hear his response, but you do know that last message was sent to him.
It would just be Marius standing to just on his ass. Just...
We cut to your, he's a full-blooded orc, right? Or is he half orc?
No, he's a full orc.
Okay. But we have a very comic cut to a half orc in a tavern, just kind of looking off happily, thinking his message back to Marius, probably super endearing, turns back to the party at the table. Don't worry, guys. I think I got us a job. Well, in a few weeks. So hey, don't give me any sass. And we cut back to the ship as it's flying through the astral sea.
A few weeks. I'm hungry now.
Glad I fleshed all those characters.
Yeah, we'll have to powwow about those guys. Anything else for our party? As you guys will say, mechanically at this point, you're awfully close to the chronosphere. Maybe just days away at this point.
Not to just bombard it. I guess I would just see how his scrying's going.
As you try to, push these attempts, the first couple of days after that last one, I mean, you're not
rest for a couple. I was gonna say maybe a week even.
That's fair. I was about to say, because even if you tried a couple of days after, it feels so hard to get this connection, but it would be at about a week where, as Liliana has said, that muscle feels fully recovered and you can sort of feel the attempt being present there. And we'll say you could try this scrying. Maybe it's the day as you guys are arriving at the chronosphere, as you feel the connection pull back in and you give it an attempt to try to scry on someone for the first time without use of an empowering circle. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, my good sir.
15.
15. Who would Marius be trying to scry on?
Maybe he would ask Brett to do sending to Quinn. Just be just so he can be is it, because...
Hey, just make sure he's not pooping or anything, or
Maybe tell Quinn I'm trying to reach out to him. Maybe just be in his dorm, and then maybe have him hold 2 items. That way I know it's working. And then when I come back, I'll tell you what I saw, and then you can confirm it with Quinn.
Sure. Yeah.
And as
And,
you
yeah.
try
This one,
this
he probably
process,
would do his meditation pose.
Oh, okay. So we're going back to how he sort of initially tapped into these powers.
I feel like message he would try to, and sending, he would like kind of blend those two for his
Yeah.
magic, but this one he would definitely try to like visualize.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead and roll me a religion check as well. The Arcana check will be our main dominating one, but this one will help flavor us a little bit.
Ooh, 9.
All right. As you kind of rest, find that centering spot, and you probably have kept up your meditations, but this is maybe your first time in a little while trying a very focused meditation, purposeful. Brett, you reach out to Quint, imparting the message. Hey, he's going to be trying this. Just grab 2 things and, hang out in the room for 30, 45 minutes, whatever. Marius, as you sort of find that center, calm washing over you, focusing on that breathing. You're trying your hardest while keeping this meditative state. You're pushing that intent, trying to capture that feeling you did during the empowering circle when you were focusing on Kellen and one of your plane caller abilities activated. You sort of chase that. A blurry picture begins to form in your mind's eye. You see a very well-kept dorm room. Pretty simple. A lot of wooden make items. If you had to guess just off your experience, I mean, you were there. It looks like a first-year dorm, but it looks like a solo space. You see one bed. It looks like a dresser, a wardrobe. And you can see a figure sitting on a bed. And it's hard to pick out their facial features. But you could tell it's Quint by this red hair. Though it wouldn't be the red hair you remember Quint having. His was a very, almost very boldish red hair. This red hair looks dull. Like it's several color grades down from what you recall Quint's hair looking like. And that could be the vision. That could be what his hair looks like. But the facial details, it's all sort of lost. You're focusing in on the items. And you can see this figure holding something in each hand. Give me a perception check with disadvantage, Marius.
9.
A 9. You can't make out what's in the left hand. Maybe it's a piece of parchment. Maybe it's a book. Could even be a picture. Kind of square, maybe rectangle at the edges. The blurriness of this image in your mind's eyes, it's hard to grasp. But in his other hand, it's pretty familiar. Maybe that's why you're able to pick it out. As the details of this object in his other hand would almost focus in as you try to dial and focus on this image, this scrying. You can see in Quint's other hand be a very familiar looking jersey. It would maybe take you a minute, but it would be Brett's jersey. Not from Mage Tower, but from Silk Ball. And you maybe pull back to your body. And it's very calm, like opening up of your eyes as the vision ends. Not an abrasive ending, but a very natural, almost falling back into your physical form. A partial success.
Oh, man. Okay, I think it worked. You guys know if he's holding a jersey and maybe some sort of parchment in his hands?
I assume Quint would have told Brett what the items were, so.
He probably did. Either way, asking, confirming. One would be his favorite book. It is a school book, not an actual book. And The other
Nerd.
would in
Sorry, yeah,
fact be
whose
your silk
favorite
ball
school-
jersey.
Whose favorite book is a school book?
I mean, Brett would
Quint's.
probably Brett would know it off the top of your head because Quint talks about this book of teleportation basics and introductions is like all
I
Quint
knew
is
it.
obsessed with.
Ugh.
I knew it.
But yeah, and the other item would be your silk ball jersey from your first year on campus.
Aw, he would keep that. I mean, yeah, he had to leave behind like all his shit when they fled the campus. So.
Thankfully, yeah. I mean, it's probably like a funny story between you guys, but it just so happened to be shoved in with all of his stuff that his parents packed when he was unconscious. And so he just so happens to have it.
Very nice.
But as our vision would pan back, only another day or so passing, as finally, after 2 more long months, and collectively, since first reaching the Omnisphere, almost 3 months ago, you're now finally setting eyes back on the Chronosphere. As you would see, it would be sort of floating buoyantly in the pastel sea. Do you have something, Jed? I heard a prolonged
I was just realized too, like he would pass on some details about. Hey, tell Quit 3 orcs are gonna beat him, and maybe a half elf. That was it.
Yeah,
That was today.
I'm just imagining if that didn't get passed on, he's like walking around campus and they're like, "Are you Quintilius? You're coming with us."
I mean, thankfully they were told to hold off for some time. I think they're hanging out in Deerspire until they get the green light from Marius.
But just to throw that little bit out there, like he would, just, hey, heads up, or at least tell Brett, be like, hey, like I asked my friends, this is who it is. They should be capable. But yeah, that was it. That was the only little tidbit.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Getting Quint and Brett involved and the possible, pulling him out of campus with a little bit of an armed guard. We would watch as the dragonfly would approach, again, that giant crystal sphere, impossibly big. You probably saw it a day or two out. And as you're approaching, you finally get that full view. And as you get closer and closer, it's almost all you can see in the northern side of the ship. Giant crystal wall you're heading towards. And unlike the Omnisphere, you guys would recall, to exit, the dragonfly had to charge this pulse. And much like it did last time, it would do that again. For that rumble under your feet, an arcane surge almost in the belly of this dragonfly before it would shoot out this mote of greenish blue energy that would touch the surface of the crystal sphere before a portal would manifest. The dragonfly sailing fast at the created portal. Boom, that brief moment of weightlessness you would all feel as it would pass. The pastel sea of the astral, or the pastel rainbow of the astral sea, left behind. Now seeing the wide-reaching starscape that is the wild space inside the chronosphere. That's where we'll end our session for today.
God.
Oh man. Oh. Oh.
So many people to kill.
Is that Varys' plan? I have to get Quint to me so I can kill him with my own bare hands.
No.
Hold them down, boy.
Yeah, that's why you called in your goon squad of orcs.
You called them to Deerspire and brought the rest of us to Brunch here so that you can perform a hit.
So
That'd be really funny.
Oh. I'll kill you. Oh
we all
man.
have bodies, okay?
What an emotionally taxing episode.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's why you don't get attached.
Oh, what were you saying about the extended spell earlier? Did you?
I don't think I said anything about the extended spell.
Alright.
I think you just mentioned you'd be working on it because you would like to talk about what your character like. You like to play that your character is like practicing the thing right before the level up.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, flavor wise, you didn't fully unlock extended spell till you guys showed up, but mechanically you've had it since you leveled up,
Okay.
Are we level 9?
Yeah, we're level 9.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's level 10 when I get
Level up.
another meta magics.
That's right, because I picked up because I only had this one spell. That's why it seems so easy. Okay. Level 12?
Level 12. Ooh, big jump.
Maybe if we just killed Exosnar, we could earn our level 12.
That's
in one
fair.
go.
That's fair. You guys kill Exosnar, yeah, I'll give you level 12.
All right, guys, stay motivated.
All right, take us to Strixhaven.
Chop chop.
We go there now.
Well, I mean, he's already dead, so the job's done, right?
I don't think he's dead. I think that's the whole point of what they're doing is because he's not dead.
No,
Yeah.
no. He's dead. That's the story.
Listen, guys, next time we play Strixhaven, we'll just all kill them.
What's he gonna do? Gonna call us all
Check
liars?
us on it.
It's 4 against 1.
Guys, we outnumber him.
We played a campaign midweek. You weren't there.
Yeah, we held the
totally
game. We held the game without you. We just felt we needed to get some stuff done,
Oh, by the way, Gail went back to that place and got that blue wand for free.
Yeah, in one session, you guys have like a heist. You do the heist, and then we went back to that weird crypt and we looted that tomb and we got that stuff.
Yeah.
We all got Revivivice rolls.
And I got my degree. I'm an early graduate. Stress. Come on, Elle. I thought my speech about Liliana was pretty good. Too bad you weren't here bonding with her so that it could connect with you.
I hope that they're not trying to use Brett's body as a vessel. I really hope that they're not. They're not Brett's body.
Yeah, it's been my concern. Yeah, it's been my concern since the beginning of the session. I was like, oh no.
It feels like one of those things to me that's like they're probably not putting all their eggs in that basket, especially with how free Quent seems to be. But
Well,
that's
just an
probably like
illusion. We
an
don't know what
option
they have
they're keeping
watching
open.
him.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that's why I was like, as free as it seems, he is.
To me, it doesn't feel like, oh, they've been planning this the whole time. To me, it feels like we're going to look back on this 5 sessions from now and go, oh no, we should have known that it would turn out this way. You know what I mean? Like a foreshadowing thing, not a. I don't know. That's just my worst case scenario brain, chugging along. Stop the train. I don't want to get off the train. Ugh.
What a great session.
I'm stressed.
You guys killed it. There's so many wild ass rolls. Holy shit. Kellen almost planeswalking. I did not expect that to be our opener.
That was so cool. Oh, God.
Did not see that one coming.
The rolls just kept coming, and I was like, oh God.
That was me internally. I was like, oh my God, what is about to happen right now? Oh my God, I was stressing.
I was so excited.
Yeah, those
I was
kinds of
so
rolls with a
excited.
+1 mod, like, stop it. Relax.
My boy.
I feel bad that Brett is so actively encouraging
I
you
get
not
it.
to pursue that.
Like, and
But,
that's Kellen's whole
he doesn't
thing.
lose his
Like,
friends.
he originally was doing it because that's what the group decided that they had wanted, like that they thought was a good thing to do, and so that's what he was pursuing. And now the consensus has changed. He's like, okay, yeah, that's fine, big deal.
You guys might meet Marius's only friend.
That's fair. You guys may get to meet Crud.
So we will
Crud and the gang.
murder them all.
Although some of them won't be there.
Listen,
if
you're
you want
not
to fight
allowed to
Marius and
have
die.
people that you call your only friends that aren't this group. Sorry. Told you we do.
Well,
We
this
do.
group doesn't subscribe to my
We do
only
for all
friends, so you don't use your real name. Yeah, that's funny. I wasn't sure if Matt would let me have him show up.
Y'all know me. Whatever y'all are trying to do, we're gonna run it. Whatever we try to do, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see how that shit plays out. Like if the dice are there, the dice are there. So we say with you being able to even contact him to begin that, like fucking dice are there. Fuck, this is where the story takes us.
By the way, don't die for Quinn. Whatever you do not die. You are clearly a show of force. Well, I don't know. I honestly, in my mind, I figured he could be like, "Oh, you guys going to Brenshire? That's cool. I'm going to Brenshire. I'll travel with you." Cred's a good bard. He's just a little heavier than most bards.
Fair.
He's like the metal of bards.
What
They're
even
all-
is Quint mechanically?
Quint mechanically, I believe he is a
vessel.
wizard.
Oh.
He's a wizard mechanically. So again, a lot of NPCs they don't really have like player levels.
Mhm.
Like they may have like some abilities or spells or features, but very rarely am I like, okay, this guy is a level 7 wizard. Yeah,
Mhm.
XYZ. Some characters, like a Liliana or something like that, where it's like, okay, it would make sense for her to have player levels because she's a planeswalker and she's been around for
Mhm.
God knows how long.
Yeah, it does remind me. I found myself wondering, like, oh god, level potentially 10 in year 3. Like, how does that compare to other students, right? Like,
Oh, I
what
mean,
are most people by year 3?
I mean, again, it's very similar. Like, the player characters, the party, your traditional, players, they're almost always considered like above everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if one of you is a wizard starting year 1, level 1, and there's like NPCs that are wizards, by the time year 3, you're a XYZ level wizard, whereas that NPC, they probably gain some spells and like, health points and maybe like some other stuff, but like they will almost never, as far as an average student, be able to match what a player character student will be able to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You guys are like cream of the crop. You guys are all the like top, 0.1% of your skills of choice, basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like if we're level 9, everyone else is maybe level 3, like to represent each year.
At best, yeah, like at best. And again, it's just like college where there's a lot of students that are underachievers. There's probably a 4th year that's mechanically weaker than a level 1 character. That's just how life goes.
Yeah, no, that tracks. I gotta take off. Say goodnight to the house.
Before you say goodnight to house, when do we want to do Beyond Dungeons next?
I mean, I don't have any interviews this week as far as I know yet, so I'm down for any day. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays work best because that's when my friend's working, so I'm nice and available.
Okay. We can schedule something and then just message you. If
Yeah.
you
Okay,
dip,
well, bye,
like hard dip.
bros.
Those work for me too. Do similar.
Yeah,
Bye, Bryce. Be
yeah.
safe.
Just
Love
let me
you.
know. I'm sure whatever time it is, I'm cool with. If not, I'll say something.
I mean, we'll probably stick to like a Thursday 1:30, 2:30, or like a Saturday 1:30, 2:30 sort of schedule. So either be one of those days or both of those days sort of vibe.
Hell yeah!
Fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah, brother.
All right, bye, Craig. Bye, everyone else.
That's right. Get out of here, Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Bye bye.
Bye, Bryce.
Bryce.
Have a
Love you.
nice- Good
Bye.
game.
Thank you. Bye.